Okay, so you want me to do a video on the lost prayers to the sacred winds. Also, my hair is a little crazy. It's getting more green. The blue's fading. It's starting to kind of blend in with the green screen. Okay, so we're going to talk about this weapon. We're going to look at its stats, its passive, and who it can be good for. So crit rate is its main stat, which is going to be good for a lot of damage dealing characters. Boundless Blessing, this is at R1. Increases movement speed by 10%. When in battle, gain an 8% elemental damage bonus every 4 seconds with a max of 4 stacks. Lasts until the character falls or leaves combat. So this is going to be very, very good for a character that you want on field doing damage because it has to build up and because it goes away if they leave the field. This is going to be very, very good for on-field damage dealers. Now, in this video, I do have it on Cloud Retainer. I do not really recommend this on Cloud Retainer. She's just the highest level Catalyst user on my EU account. That's why I have it on her. So now we're gonna go look at how this weapon works. As you can see, we have a timer at the top. So because you have this, you are going to get 8% elemental damage, right? After 4 seconds, it is going to go up to 16. Once you've entered combat, you get the 8%. After 4 seconds, you gain another 8%. So this is 4 seconds after we entered combat. We have 16% on every single elemental damage bonus. If we then go back into combat for another 4 seconds, which I think I misjudged some of these on the time, we have 24%. So it's gone up another 8% from being in combat for another 4 seconds. If we then wait a little longer, once we check it, we now have 32%. That is the maximum stacks of this weapon. You get 8% whenever you enter combat. It goes up every 4 seconds, max of 4 stacks, meaning a max of 32%. So if we leave combat or leave the field by like swapping over to Gaming, you can now see that she has 0. She does not get any elemental damage bonus because she is not on the field in combat, which is what I mean by you need this on a character that will be on field a lot, a main damage dealer. And then once we put her back on the field and do some stuff, you can see that we are going to very quickly get the elemental damage back up, all the way up to 32% like last time if we stay to get all 4 stacks. Now we're going to look at characters that can use this weapon. I was using Cloud Retainer in the example, and unless you were building a very niche on-field damage Cloud Retainer, I do not recommend this weapon on her. Really, no. Okay, so if you were to put this weapon on her, it would have to be in a very, very niche scenario, nowhere near standard typical build for Cloud Retainer. So next is going to be another niche one, and that is going to be Nahida. This would specifically be for on-field spread reaction Nahida, where you're causing aggravate and spread reactions because those two things can crit. Having crit rate on Nahida can be very, very good for this niche aggravate spread Nahida on field build. Again, another niche would probably work well with Raiden, like a sniper Nahida kind of build, but that's also kind of like a meme team and a meme build. Next is going to be Lisa. Now, this would again be in an aggravate team where you want the crit rate so that way Lisa can crit aggravate reactions, but it's still going to be a really weird build. You would have to have a lot of off-field dendro to allow her to stay on the field long enough to do that damage, to get that extra elemental damage. So next is going to be a character that can actually use this weapon fairly well, and that is going to be Haizo, specifically Anemo damage Haizo. You may not be necessarily worried about the reactions that he's causing, but you want him to do a lot of the damage with like C6 Faruzan. That is going to be a really, really good combination for him because you can keep him on the field long enough to get all of the damage bonuses, and he's going to very much enjoy the crit rate on that with an Anemo DPS build. Next is going to be Wriothesley. Wriothesley can definitely use this weapon. Again, you would use all of your supports to set up for Wriothesley to take the field and stay on the field as long as possible, dealing damage. He wants the crit rate. He's going to enjoy the elemental damage bonus, and the movement speed can also be very, very good for him. Next is going to be Neuvillette, and again, it's going to be very similar to Wriothesley, where you want to go ahead and get all of your supports out on the field, so that way, whenever Neuvillette takes the field, he's going to be able to stay out there for as long as possible, enjoying the crit rate, enjoying the elemental damage bonus. Then we've got Wanderer, which is going to be very similar to Haizo. Same thing. These guys can all take very good use of this weapon because of the crit rate, because of the elemental damage bonus. On the Anemo characters, again, you're not building for the reactions, you're building for their own personal damage. Then we have Yaimiko. Yaimiko does ascend with crit rate, and this weapon is crit rate, so you can get her very, very high. I do recommend a crit damage weapon on Yaimiko, but Yaimiko would have to be an on-field, like an aggravate team, again, like we talked about with Nahida and Lisa, on-field damaging aggravate to where you're not running Golden Troop. You would be running something like Thundering Fury or two-piece Golden Troop two-piece attack percent like Gladiator. Next, we're going to have like Klee and Yanfei. They're going to work very, very similar in this instance where they would be kind of the main on-field damage dealer for the team, to where you would get all of your supports going. You would allow them to take the field, enjoy the crit rate, enjoy the high base attack, and get the elemental damage bonus by having them on the field. Both of them are a little squishy, especially Klee. So you would definitely want to run like a shielder with them, so that way you could have them on the field for the full amount of time to get the damage bonus and not have to worry about their health. Next, we have Ningguang. Ningguang can very much take advantage of this weapon, especially in a similar manner as the other characters that we've talked about, where she would be your on-field damage dealer. And she would definitely enjoy the crit rate. She would enjoy the elemental damage bonus. She can enjoy all of the weapon, including the movement speed. She would enjoy all of that as well. So that is going to be it for this video. If you have any questions, do be sure to leave it down in the comments. Myself or somebody else will be sure to answer it, and I'll see you in the next one.